Hey everybody, it's been a while since we could do one of these, but we actually got some movement out of BSG and several things hit us all at once. So here we are doing another today in Tarkov. So BSG dropped patch 12.12.32. Then a few days later, a following maintenance patch. Then we got a BSG birthday message for their birthday, which is October 15th, and offered discounts on the game. But as far as the big patch, on October 12th, we got patch 12.12.32. And honestly, it's probably one of the more difficult patches for me to kind of feel out and get an opinion on. But before we do that, let's just share the patch notes here real quick. So they said they've reworked server synchronization for player positioning. They reduced network packet processing latency between client and server, improved network stability during close quarters gunfights, fixed the instances where some shots may not have registered when burst firing at close ranges, and fixed a situation where a player with a poor network connection could suddenly appear from around the corner. And then lastly, they've fixed the incorrect SCAV behavior when engaging USEC PMCs. So overall, personally, I haven't noticed much of a difference in gameplay, nor performance since the patch has started. Now, folks at a distance seem to be moving a little bit smoother, but it's not enough for me to say that's 100% for sure, or just, me imagining things. Up close fights seem to go down about the same for me, but that's just my take on it. My playstyle doesn't put me into constant CQB fights, so your experience probably will differ. And honestly, I don't die to desync all that much, or at least I don't notice it. So even if there was a huge change to that, I probably wouldn't notice it either way. As far as the Tarkov community as a whole is concerned, streamers, other content creators, the folks that I watch and talk to, the answers are pretty broad ranging. Some people are saying that it's made the game unplayable. Others are saying that the game feels better than it's ever felt. And the group that I fall into, folks who haven't really noticed anything changing. The one big thing I can say that changed, though, is essentially rubber banding has been introduced to Tarkov, at least in the form that we're getting now with this patch. And I think this has led to a lot of misunderstanding by folks who don't actually kind of understand what's going on or what mechanics are at play. Now, I don't want to get into this big argument or discussion about client-side versus server-side authority or any of the really complicated stuff that is associated with that. But in layman's terms, what this patch appears to have done is if there's any kind of lack of communication between a player and the server, that the server will just revert the player back to the last known position. Whereas before patch 12.12.32, if the server would just catch up to wherever you were at. So if you're running along and there was like a half a second that the server didn't know where you were at, it would just say, okay, you're over here now. And then that's what everybody would see. They would see you kind of teleport or just warp or run really, really fast and get caught up to where your actual position was. You didn't notice anything different on your machine. You were running along smooth, but everybody else, you look like Speedy Gonzalez taking off across the desert. Now what happens is when that miscommunication or lack of information, packet loss happens, the server pushes you back to the last known position, so you get rubber banding. Now, these issues peak at the start of most matches, and they have for a long time. This isn't kind of a new thing. But now, instead of you seeing no difference as you're playing, the server's pushing you back. Whereas before, you would take off running, and if you were in a squad or something, you'd see your teammates like run in place for a second, and then they'd zoom out in front ahead of you if that's where they were at. Now you get the little packet loss symbol in the top right corner of your screen, and you rubber band back to where you were, and everybody freaks out. And I will say that since the patch, I can't think of one time that I've seen another player kind of zoom around the map like that, which it was so common that you just kind of got used to it and expected it. It wasn't out of place. Now, occasionally I'll get some rubber banding in the middle of the match. The only time mostly that I'm feeling it is in the first like 10, 15 seconds of the match. After that, it goes away, and then maybe something weird will happen in the middle of the match. I don't know if maybe it's player scavs loading in or an airdrop or something, and you'll get a hiccup and maybe a little bit of rubber banding, but it goes away right away. But again, this is just me. If you're having issues, the only thing I can think of and to suggest is go onto your launcher and make sure you have low ping servers selected. Because near as I can tell, some of the people that I've talked to that are having issues, they live in somewhere in the world that they can't connect to good ping servers. So they run 100, 120, 130 ping, if not higher most of the time, and they tend to see more of the problems. Now, on top of this, aside from basically me saying, I don't want to say a bunch of nothing, but We got a patch. There isn't really much that I can say to talk about it other than let you guys know that it came out. We did get the scav bug fixed as far as how scavs were not aggroing USEX, and with the exception of a couple of conditions we did and some weird stuff happening. It appears to be fixed now. I haven't noticed anything weird yet, but scavs are back to their crazy selves and, you know, one-tapping you sometimes without yelling and you're just dead. And, you know, it's like, oh, is that a hacker? No, you know, just an AI scav that one-shot you with PS from, you know, 100 meters away. The good old Tarkov days. So keep that in mind. I didn't realize how calm the raids had become with the two and a half weeks we had the scavs like this or whatever it was. It's definitely a lot more stressful now, and it's kind of scary when you hear a scav yelling on the, you know, the other side of a wall and you're not sure if he's yelling at you or somebody else. Then after that, we got a technical patch on the 14th, but there were no notes with this. BSG didn't say anything about it, so what it did is pure speculation. Speaking of speculation, a ton of folks have been asking me about events when I'm streaming. There is a chance we get a Halloween event, simply because I think they could recycle it from previous patches. So, you know, cultists spawning in newer places, pumpkin heads on scavs, stuff like that, some other treats that show up in the game. But we might not. It's hard to say. This wipe's kind of been unconventional. Nothing's gone down like this really since I've played the game, as far as lack of communication from BSG, no content, things like that. So it just remains to be seen, though. Usually that update or that event doesn't happen till right about Halloween. And then last up for the news, we got today, October 15th, is BSG's actual birthday for the company. And as usual, they offer discounts on new game purchases as well as upgrades. So if you've been holding out on that or wondering, here's your chance. They're offering 25% across the board, whether it's a purchase or an upgrade. And so if you've been waiting, here you go. The next chance we'll get will probably be Christmas or New Year's. They've in the past that every year they do a discount then as well. So if you don't get it now, another 2 months or so, it might come up again. But this discount is only going to go till the 16th or Sunday night at midnight GMT, it looks like. So you got to either get it today or tomorrow. If you're watching this video after that, tough luck, it's out of here. I guess you should have subscribed and hit the bell, because then you would have seen the video. Now, on top of this, everybody got a gift. What you have to do is you have to go to the Escape from Tarkov site, go to your profile, log in. Scroll down here, you'll see this little picture with a little pin. You click on that, you're going to get a message, gift has been activated successfully. Once you do that, you will get a message, system message here. It says, happy birthday, BSG. You click on it, and there you go. You get your chocolate bars, your whiskey, your apple juice, a Bitcoin, and then a pretty modified RD704. So you're going to be seeing a bunch of these running around for a couple of days. Make sure if you get one, you go through this, you hit the like button down on the video, because you might not have known about it otherwise. That's where it is. Now, if we get any more information, we'll make sure to get a video out for you guys to keep you updated so you know what's going on. So again, you got to make sure you're subscribed to that notification bell so that you are alerted to when that video comes out. As a quick housekeeping thing, I want to mention the music that I have that is made for me. It's on Spotify. We're up to 140 songs now on 8 albums, 2 genres. It's really good music. I enjoy listening to it. I don't just listen to it when I stream. I listen to it throughout the day. A lot of other people do. So go check it out. Links down in the description. Listening to it's free, but it supports the content, supports the stream. Doesn't cost you guys anything on Spotify. So give it a listen. You add the songs to your playlist or my playlist if you want, and let me know what you think. On top of that, while it is made for me, it is available for other content creators to use on their YouTube videos or in their streams without the fear of DMC takedown requests or copyright strikes or anything like that. We don't do that. It's meant to be shared by everybody. All we ask is that you attribute us so other people know where to find it if they like it. But with that, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.